Dzień dobry, dobry wieczór. Kontynuujemy sobie epizod 4, moi drodzy. Zobaczymy, co mamy w streszczeniu. Po paru nerwowych minutach w roku 1986 Marty i obywatel Brown cofają się do sierpnia 1931. Na dzień przed pierwszą randką Emmeta z Edną. Ich plan jest prosty: przekonać Emmeta, żeby obejrzał Frankensteina, co ma skutkować jego naukowym objawieniem i wynalezieniem urządzenia, które zaprezentuje na targach Hill Valley w październiku. 26 sierpień, 31, 9:13. Okej. Dobrze, no więc widzimy tam młodego Emmeta Browna. Po tych wszystkich rollercoasterach, jakie przeżyliśmy w poprzednich odcinkach, powinniśmy mieć jasną sytuację, co powinniśmy też zrobić. Także ruszamy chyba w stronę Emmeta, myślę. Naprawdę ten trzeci epizod był bardzo, bardzo dziwny. Już nie wiedziałem, jak się w nim odnaleźć. Fajnie, że wróciliśmy do tego roku. Aha, tu jest zablokowane, nie mogę sobie tak po prostu iść. No dobra, mamy liniowość tutaj. No dobrze, to pójdźmy sobie do tego Emmeta, spróbujmy go przekonać. Możemy przejść? Możemy. Ładny garnitur, Emmett.
Harry! You do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
W 1986 roku, no niekoniecznie dobra odpowiedź. W dystopii, którą stworzyłeś w środku warunkowania psychicznego. W ośrodku... Może potraktuję to jako żart.
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine!
Znaczy, powinniście siebie nie znosić, bo to się bardzo może źle skończyć, jak widzieliśmy w poprzednim odcinku. Zaufaj pierwszemu wrażeniu. Dziewczyny to nie wszystko, zapomnij o dnie. Zaufaj pierwszemu wrażeniu może.
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked the rocket car.
But,
More trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Smutno się na to patrzy. Jak Marty wie, co się wydarzy w przyszłości, to naprawdę... Emmett, weź się w garść. Użyteczność społeczna? Nie rezygnuj z samochodu odrzutowego. O.
no, you were really onto something with the rocket car. You've just gotta...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
The what?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Emmett, I'm a little confused here.
Byliście dopiero na jednej randce.
What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Callahan.
October 12th. Doc?
12 październik? To jednak październik, to jednak nie jest sierpień. Jak się nagle zmieniło, niesamowite. Doktorku, chyba nie ten miesiąc, co? Akurat mamy październik, tak? U nas w momencie, jak to nagrywam, jest październik, także tu się zgadza, ale nie zgadza się to w grze. Doktorku, coś tu chyba nie tak jest.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start and teenage you is already in over his head with Edna.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Or worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna, where can I find her?
Where do you think?
Na targach.
The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
Ale bardzo dużo się namieszało w tych układach czasowych. To pewnie ma związek właśnie z przeniesieniem się Martiego do tego roku i zmienieniem w ogóle rzeczywistości. Albo coś innego. Prawdopodobnie liceum Martiego. Znaczy liceum Martiego, liceum, do którego chodzi młody Emmett, bo Martiego jeszcze nie było na świecie.
You were right. There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and... I'll talk to her. You better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All Car of the Future contestants need to report to the North Tent.
Why not?
Coś jest nie tak z tym alternatywnym doktorem, wam powiem. Wolałem naszego pierwotnego. Ten jest jakoś mało ogarnięty. Rozumiem dopiero, co ten wehikuł zbudował, ale mimo wszystko, no coś tutaj jest nie tak. Ale plus jest taki, że wróciliśmy do starego, dobrego Powrotu do przyszłości. Alternatywny 86, tak jak wcześniej wam wspominałem, no nie przemówił do mnie, nie przemówił. Jak na razie ten epizod bardzo mi się ten trzeci nie podobał. Ten jest całkiem przyzwoity. A przynajmniej tak się zaczyna. Dobra, z doktorkiem nie będziemy rozmawiać. Tam jest dziadek Martiego. Jest Edna. Pogadajmy z Edną może.
Spell it Brown. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love. Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... oh, dear.
Mr. Callahan, you do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Tutaj jest dla nas miła. Skłócenie pani i Emmeta. Zapobiegnięcie strasznej przyszłości. Pokrzyżowanie pani szalonych. Straszna przeszłość.
I need to...
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
Może ją okłammy, co? Żeby nie miała z nim jak najwięcej interakcji.
No.
Then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think, he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
Może rzeczywiście tak jest. Jesteś z nim dla jego umiejętności i zysku. Ale wam powiem, że są traki w tej grze. Wiem, powtarzam się, ale teraz możemy słyszeć taką wersję łagodniejszą tej ścieżki dźwiękowej, jak Marty się przenosi w czasie. Muzyka na najwyższym poziomie. Pierwsze wrażenie jest najważniejsze, potencjał nie wszystko, co panią do niego przyciąga.
I don't get it. I mean, Emmett's nice and all, but he's not exactly the kind of guy that has girls swarming all over him.
Well, I'm not your average girl.
Yeah, but...
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Callahan, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
Ty szukasz mężczyzny, którym byś mogła manipulować, a nie mężczyzny, który ci się podoba i do którego coś czujesz. Dobra, pogadajmy może z facetem tutaj. On tymi targami, to jest tamten, co
Excuse me?
Yeah?
do Martiego sapał.
Not till tonight. Anybody without official business here, please get off the grounds! You got official business here?
Yeah.
Well, stay out of the way of the workers. You look familiar. Do I know you?
Nope.
Tak, w sierpniu do mnie buchałeś, bo byłeś pijany i myślałeś, że zarywam do twojej dziewczyny, ale taki szczegół. Okej, Arthur McFly?
Hey, Artie.
Officer!
Officer,
Right. Don't blow your cover.
will you please keep your mind on the task at hand?
Can't talk right now.
Okej, chyba musimy odciągnąć Ednę. Jeszcze się rozejrzyjmy tutaj przed tymi targami, co mamy. Drzwi, namiot. Jest coś w namiocie. Hill Valley przeszłości. Pasuje. Wystawa Hill Valley. Samochód, dostawczak.
It's not as nice as my truck back in 86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in 86.
Miejmy nadzieję, Marty. Aha, tu są skrzynie. Coś jeszcze może? W ogóle sprawdźmy, jakie mamy przedmioty. Podpowiedzi. Nie podpowiedzi, tylko przedmioty. Mamy notes doktora, mamy gazetę z 86, mamy gitarę i mamy zdjęcie ojca Martiego. Dobra, na ten moment tak to wygląda. Pogadajmy z Edną. Spróbujmy ją skłócić.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Callahan. You know that? Well, his physical appearance, for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
Wydaje mi się, że chyba wystarczy. Emmett jest magnesem na dziewczynę. Nie zna pani Emmeta tak jak ja. Dobrze, że Emmett postanowił się ustatkować. Może nie zna pani Emmeta tak jak ja.
You say you know Emmett is a model citizen, but you don't know him as well as I do. Did you know he once cheated some Libyans out of plutonium?
Plutonium? What would Libyans want with plutonium? I'm sure he had a very good reason. Emmett's mind map demonstrates conclusively his brain is oriented toward virtue.
Nawiązanie do Plutonu z pierwszej części, tak. Na początku wehikuł czasu potrzebował bardzo silnego paliwa w postaci plutonu. Chyba mówiłem wam o tym w pierwszym odcinku, że właśnie ukradł Libijczykom pluton doktor, potem go znaleźli i zastrzelili. Oczywiście Marty musiał to odkręcać, to było w pierwszej części. To dobrze, że Emmett postanowił się ustatkować. Co to jest miernik zrównoważenia umysłu? Może o to zapytajmy.
What the heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention! Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course! What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or, anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
A może by tak tego użyć? Porwał pociąg. Weźmy to, spróbujmy ją zniechęcić tak na siłę.
This one time, to power one of his science experiments, Emmett hijacked a train.
Please, there hasn't been a train hijacking in Hill Valley since the days of Mad Dog Tannen.
Okej, to też ciekawe, co ona mówi. Niesamowite. Mój wicedyrektor go nie znosi. Emmett jest magnesem na dziewczyny?
Rather hard for me to picture Emmett as a chick magnet.
Chick magnet?
A guy who gets the girls, motors running.
Motors?
Who makes them, you know.
You mean a chic?
Yeah.
It's a matter of taste, I suppose, but when he's properly pomaded and decked out in my grandfather's white suit, Emmett just glows. Makes my heart flutter a bit just to picture him.
Co, czyżby relacja z dziadkiem przypomina ci dziadka? Nie, żebym był jakimś super psychologiem, albo ogólnie, żebym był psychologiem, bo nie jestem, ale tak wiecie, mi się skojarzyło. Nie bierzcie tego na poważnie. Mój wicedyrektor go nie znosi, to dobrze, że Emmett postanowił się ustatkować. O, mój wicedyrektor go nie znosi, może próbujemy dalej.
Emmett's done a lot of shady things in his time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice principal sounds like a dolt.
A to się zgadza akurat. Chociaż... Bo ona właśnie obraziła własnego brata. Bo jak wiecie, dyrektor Strickland to jest brat Edny, tak? Oj. Dobra, to dobrze, że Emmett postanowił się ustatkować.
So you say Emmett only has eyes for you?
Absolutely. It's almost embarrassing how devoted he is to me.
Well, it's good to hear he's finally settling down.
Yes. Settling down?
You know, ready to stop playing the field, as it were.
Playing the... Oh, you're joking.
Emmett jest magnesem. Emmett to podrywacz.
But I can't help feeling sorry for him.
Who?
All of Emmett's other girls, now that he's with you.
Please, I think I know Emmett by now. There are no other girls.
Jesteś pewna? Ma czarną książeczkę.
I wonder what's gonna happen to Emmett's little black book.
Little black book?
Oh, it's legendary. That's what enabled Emmett to become the, Valentino of Hill Valley High. Gee, I wonder if he'd let me have it.
You must think I'm pretty gullible, Mr. Callahan.
Jeszcze raz?
I wonder what's gonna happen.
Little...
Oh, gee.
You must think I'm...
Dobra, wyjdźmy.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
O! Babcia Martiego.
Daddy, you seen my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Już nie lubisz babci Martiego. Przekonaj jedne, że Emmett ją zdradza. A może pójdźmy do naszego doktora i zapytajmy go o pewne rzeczy. O Jezus Maria. Ta kamera troszeczkę... Te sterowanie czasami nie działa tak, jak powinno.
Ah, good. You're back. Give me the full report.
She says she likes you because you've got a virtuous mind, you look good in a suit, and you're completely faithful to her.
Damn, she's got me dead to rights. Well, you'll just have to find a way to change her mind. I'll be here if you need any help. Do you need any help?
Jak pozbędziemy się Edny? Gdzie jest młodszy ty? Ej, mam plan. Edna naprawdę nie przepada za Trixie. Gdzie jest młodszy ty?
Any idea what your teenage self is doing right now?
Unless I miss my guess, he's in the garage frantically working on his latest invention and cursing because he can't quite get it to work. Damn!
Coś nie tak z tym DeLoreanem. Co z DeLoreanem?
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits...
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
Okej, zobaczymy. Tylko żeby, wiecie, nie zepsuł się w trakcie, bo to katastrofa by była.
It worked! Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Okej. Ten doktor jest naprawdę dziwny. Wybierz się do laboratorium Emmeta. Ja wiem. Ale czy coś jeszcze? Czy jeszcze mamy możliwości jakieś dialogowe tutaj z doktorem? Mam plan.
I think I'm starting to get a plan.
Good. Tell me. No! After all, it's my history we're talking about. If I learn how you're planning on altering it, my resolve may weaken.
Okej, to nie powiemy. Wiemy, gdzie jest młodszy ty. Jak pozbędziemy się Edny?
So, what do we do about Edna?
Only one thing we can do. Lie. Make me out to be a less desirable catch than I really am.
Why would she believe me? She said she knows you inside and out.
Then you'll have to resort to skullduggery. You've done it before. You gotta be getting good at it by now.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Marty jest dobry w wciskaniu kitu. Dobrze. Czy jeszcze jakieś są dobre? Nie, już chyba nic. Dobra. Pójdźmy jeszcze raz do Edny. Musimy znaleźć środek transportu. Jakiś inny samochód może? Może tym dostawczakiem byśmy odjechali. Ale jeszcze do Edny zagadajmy.
Back again, Mr. Callahan? What can I help you with?
I was thinking,
Mój wicedyrektor go nie zna się czarno. Co tu robi Trixie?
what's Trixie Trotter doing in that outfit?
What's she doing here at all? That's the question. Women of that sort are generally found outside cheap hotels, not science expos.
Okej. Wyjdź.
That's so...
Very well.
Pogadajmy może z Trixie jeszcze.
No.
Then kindly let me...
I'm afraid I can't. Until...
Dobra.
This is
Dobrze, pogadajmy z Trixie, bo ona gdzieś tu... A, tu jest. Stoi pod latarnią? Nieważne. Głupie skojarzenie.
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh, hiya, kid. Say, aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could...
Forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Right.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future? At the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's actually why I'm here.
Okej, pomóż mi wzbudzić zazdrość w Ednie. Nie będziemy pytać, co robi, bo się domyślamy. Artie tu pracuje, co z Kidem. O co chodzi z tymi targami, to wiemy. Pomóż mi wzbudzić zazdrość w Ednie.
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Artie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
Then you see where I'm coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's gotta resort to underhanded tricks. What do you say?
Sorry.
Oh,
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techni, Muse of Progress.
Okej. A może spróbujmy dalej ją przekonać?
look, my friend Emmett really needs help.
The one who's going out with Edna Strickland? You're darn right he needs help.
I'm not asking you to actually seduce him. Just make her think that you two have a thing going. It'll drive her crazy.
I guess it would.
So...
I wouldn't do that to another girl unless I was good and mad at her. And besides, it might tarnish my image as a muse.
Okej, czyli może napuścimy ją na Ednę. Jeszcze zapytajmy o Artiego.
So, Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
Okej, dobrze. Co z Kidem? O co chodzi z tymi targami? Dobra, to wszystko?
See you, Trixie.
From this chamber of wonders, we
Okej. Dobra, jakoś musimy ogarnąć środek. Pociąg przyszłości? O!
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Callahan. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
Sprawdzę go z panią. Potrzebuję swobody. Powinna pani tu zostać.
You should stay here.
What?
I mean, you want to deal with that situation at the registration booth.
Oh, that. We finally found that form. It was in my purse.
But...
Tut tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interests. You see, I know what you're up to.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
Go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
Okej. Jest to dziwne, ale udało się. Udało się. I zdobyliśmy deskorolkę, tak? O Jezu, nie chciałem. Ekwipunek. Pociąg deskorolka. Niesamowite. I Marty będzie na tym jeździł. Chyba tą deskorolką będziemy mogli się udać do Emmeta. Tak sądzę. Chyba zróbmy to. Skoro pozbyliśmy się Edny. A pogadajmy jeszcze z Arturem McFlyem może. Chociaż nie. Wydaje mi się, że na ten moment nie ma to sensu. Nie mamy do niego sprawy. Jak będziemy mieli, to może wtedy. Po prostu użyjmy deskorolki. Deskorolka.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Lecimy. Yeah! Deska Martiego nie opuszcza.
Emmett?
Kid?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the Expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now what's next. Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now, in love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
Oho. Przekonaj jedno, że Emmett nie jest wzorowym obywatelem. Okej.
Hey, Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
Wy z Edną tak na poważnie? To wszystko część twojej demonstracji na targi wynalazłeś to w 2 miesiące? To za nowe ciuchy. Chodźmy zobaczyć Frankensteina. O, to za nowe ciuchy.
What's with the new threads?
You like them?
You look like Colonel Sanders.
Who?
Never mind.
Edna gave them to me. She says my usual clothes don't have enough zing for a public exhibition.
Okej, wy tak z Edną na poważnie?
So, you and Edna, how serious are you guys?
Well, we both enjoy a good joke every now and then, but I'd say on the whole we're fairly serious people. Why do you ask?
No. What I mean is, how serious is your relationship?
Oh, well, as a scientist, I can't state this with 100% confidence, but I'm provisionally certain that I'm head over heels in love.
Really? With Edna?
What can I say? She's my muse. In the week since we've been courting, she's given me so many wonderful ideas.
Okej. To wszystko część twojej demonstracji na targi. Wynalazłeś to w 2 miesiące. Co to za nowe ciuchy? Jesteś pewien co do Edny?
You sure Edna's the right woman for you?
What do you mean?
Jest władcza.
Don't you think she's a little controlling?
Controlling? Edna? No. She's just giving me a little much-needed guidance. Before I met her, I was such a flibberty-gibbet, always getting distracted by the slightest stray idea. But now, thanks to Edna, I stay focused on the task in front of me, like a narrow-band stream of stimulated photon emissions. Focused!
Okej. Jest oziębła.
Isn't she a little cold?
Don't let the schoolmarm exterior fool you, buddy. Edna's got enough warmth to raise a liter of water from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade. Know what I mean?
I kind of wish I didn't.
Jest niebezpieczna.
I don't know. I just think Edna might be a little dangerous.
Oh, I agree.
You do?
Like all independent women, she's a danger to the patriarchal status quo. That's one of the things I love about her. She shakes things up.
You have no idea.
Nieważne.
I just think you should be careful, that's all.
Thanks for the concern, but I'll be fine.
Okej. Wszystko część twojej demonstracji na targi?
Is all this new stuff what you're showing off at the expo?
Yes, it's our mental alignment meter.
Mental alignment meter?
Co z samochodem? Co to jest miernik równoważenia umysłu? Zapytajmy jeszcze raz.
What's a mental alignment meter?
It's the most revolutionary piece of technology since the cotton gin.
What does it do?
It reads and interprets the subconscious desires of the human mind.
No właśnie, i od tego się zaczęło. Czyta ludziom w myślach?
Why would you want to probe people's minds?
Why wouldn't you? Imagine being able to diagnose mental disorders with a flick of a switch, or detect the truthfulness of courtroom testimony merely by connecting a witness to a small portable device.
Your machine does all that?
Not yet. Frankly, right now the whole thing's just a gussied up potentiometer. But with years of refinements and a whole lot of investors, the MAM will be able to identify countless psychosis and neurosis, alcoholism, acrophobia, Oedipal complexes.
And?
And then we can set about curing them, of course.
Of course.
Wydaje mi się, że Edna ma inne plany. Jak działa?
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that?
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe, but to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Darmo.
Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
Darmozjad. Pewnie chodzi o to, że Marty jest nastolatkiem i po prostu mieszka z rodzicami.
Anyway.
Próbowałeś tego na sobie?
Did you make a mind map of yourself?
Of course. Take a look.
Edna's right. You are a model citizen.
At least as far as my invention's concerned. Confidentially, this whole enterprise is a little light on the hard science and a little heavy on the smoke and mirrors.
Okej. Wynalazłeś to w 2 miesiące, co nadal nie uważam, że jedna jest dla ciebie odpowiednia. Chodźmy zobaczyć Frankensteina może.
What do you say we take a break for a couple of hours and go see a movie?
A couple of hours?
Actually, it may be more like 70 minutes.
I haven't got a couple of hours. I still got all these mind maps to sort, and the MAM's wiring is still giving me fits, and...
I get it, you're busy.
Okej, chyba tutaj za bardzo go nie przekonamy.
You look busy. Why don't we talk later?
Sure thing.
Rozejrzyjmy się. Gramofon.
I Don't Care by Trixie Trotter?
Edna doesn't approve of that sort of music, but I find it very soothing. Oh.
Say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care.
Okej, to chyba będzie coś z tymi lampkami, żeby go wprawiać w jakiś nastrój. Ekran do prącznik testu.
Sort of independent, I am my own superintendent. My star is on the ascendant.
Edna Strickland. Oho. Zmienia się. Miernik zrównoważenia
This
umysłu.
machine takes those little cards and tells you whether
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Emmett says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
No kidding.
Mhm. Zawór?
Ew.
Oh.
Oho. Dobra. Zasmrodziliśmy trochę. Garnek z potrawką? Użyjmy.
Ah, that smells much better.
Okej, dobra. Czyli w zależności jakie emocje, co zrobimy, takie emocje będą towarzyszyć Emmetowi. Prądnica. Okej. Moment, a ten projektor, znaczy drukarka map?
What's this typewriter?
No nie, dobra, nie musi tego przypominać.
Actually,
Sounds to
what?
Dobra, to był gramofon chyba, nie. To. Zmiana slajdu. Jeszcze raz zmienimy slajd. To jest ciekawe. Bo mu się to zmienia. Dobra, czyli taka neutralność. Żółte to jest neutralne, czerwone to nie... Złe emocje, zielone dobre, ok. A, Marty, czy ty możesz? Dzięki.
This thing reads Emmett's mind.
Ja wiem, że to czyta, ale przecież ja nie tutaj kliknąłem. Marty, gdzie ty chodzisz? Zmiana slajdu. Co będzie teraz? Dalej neutralne. Musimy zmienić jeszcze raz na Ednę. Zmiana slajdu. Edna?
Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It only works while the test is running.
Okej. Edna? Drukarka?
According to
Miernik?
this thing reads Emmett.
Dobra, czekajcie, jeszcze się trochę rozejrzyjmy, bo nie wiem, czy wszystko... Kid Tannen, mapa umysłu Kida.
Mind of a degenerate criminal.
That's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Okej, to nam daje...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
Science. To nam daje pewne... Dobra, weźmy mapę Emmeta.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one. Tannen's mind map. If Emmett's map looked like this, I bet Edna wouldn't think he's such a model citizen.
No dokładnie. Mamy coś, co możemy podmienić. Lista zalet Emmeta. Może...
Nah, I don't think so.
Nie, nie możemy tak podmienić, nie w taki sposób. Moment. Tabliczka.
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid Tannen?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
Nie jest zbyt dobre.
You look a little constipated.
What? Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Ed,
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Kochana mama, sprawdźmy w ogóle te zdjęcia, które rzucił. Tutaj tak.
hey, Emmett, I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it.
Okej. Dobra, coś mamy. Dobrze, moi drodzy, widzę, że doszliśmy do 40 minuty nagrania, także tutaj skończymy sobie. Usłyszymy się w kolejnym odcinku Powrotu do przyszłości epizodu 4. Naprawdę dzieje się ciekawie. Zobaczymy, czy uda nam się skłócić Ednę z Emmettem. No i nasz doktorek wziął ją też na rozmowę, więc zobaczymy, jak to wyjdzie. Na razie te wszystkie problemy czasowe wydają mi się intrygujące, ale zobaczymy, jak to się rozwiąże. Także dajcie jakiś komentarz, łapę w górę, subskrypcję. Słyszymy się w kolejnych odcinkach. Na razie, cześć!